everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I'm up today with a layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict. Now, a couple of things. I have to apologise. I am recovering from a cold and an ear infection, so my voice is a bit scratchy, and I have waited as long as I can to do this voiceover, but the video is due tomorrow, so I can wait no longer. So I suspect this will be a bit of a stop-start choppy video while I have to stop and have a little cough and a drink of water. It's not a long video, but anyway, I think it will take a bit for me to get through. So I am using the Stitched Clouds cut file. No. I really should have looked this up before I started filming the voiceover. But it is the clouds with the raindrops. And so I have stitched around the clouds in a really pretty embroidery thread that I only just purchased from Spotlight. And it's kind of a grey and blue, what do you call it, like ombre variegated thread, which is pretty cool. And I must admit, I really like that one and how it looks, and I am using some pre-made mixed media background paper from Vicky Booten, which to me looks a lot like rain dripping down the page, so I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm pulled out, I want to say it's Indigo and Mist from Rosie's Studio that I am using for this collection, just because the colours I thought went really well. And yeah, they were sort of those kind of real earthy tones, like the greens and the maroons and the greys and the purples. Yeah, I thought it looked really cool, so that is what I've gone with. You can see me just layering up my photos there. I'm just trying to find the cut file for you, so I can tell you the right name for it. Let me see. Let me see. I do not know why I can't find this. Gosh, it is eluding me. We'll find it. We'll find it, folks. So it is called it's not called the Stitched Clouds, it's the Stitched Rainy Day cut file. The Stitched Clouds cut file is also super cool, but that's a complete background of clouds, whereas the Stitched Rainy Day just has the two clouds and then the raindrops, which I do add at the end, although I will preface this video by saying my son came home from his Almas just as I was sticking down the last couple of raindrops, so I actually haven't got that part on film, but you'll see it in the close-ups. So these photos are actually of us waiting in line in the rain to get a COVID test in our lockdown 4.0, which was earlier this year, around March, I want to say. I think. Or maybe this was lockdown 5.0. I can't remember, but anyway, it was earlier this year. And so we're waiting in a walk-in clinic, not a drive-through clinic, because most of the drive-through clinics in Australia don't test children or babies, toddlers, under the age of like 5, I think. And Lincoln's obviously only 2, so he needed to be tested in a place that tested children. And for those, you have to walk in so that you can hold them while they're getting tested. So that is what we're doing. It was raining. Us and many others are standing in line. So thankfully it was right beside a park. Now, I know that we shouldn't have been playing in a park if we were waiting for a COVID test, but the thing is we weren't actually sick. It was just a precautionary COVID test, and I made sure we didn't go near anybody else whatsoever. We stayed well away from people. There was no one there anyway because it was actually raining. But we just wanted to do the right thing, get tested. We are all fine. But that is what I'm documenting. So I'm just sticking my photos down, and then I'll attach the cut file and come back in and stick down my clusters. So I've got the 3 photos, 2 of Lincoln and then 1 selfie of me and the family waiting. So it was me, my partner, my mother-in-law and Lincoln, because we all live in the same household together. And so what ended up actually happening, they actually came along the line and sent us home and then just texted us when it was about 20 minutes before we would normally have gotten to the front of the line, so to speak. So they ended up kind of doing a virtual line, which was great because it meant we could easily wait at home, have lunch, all that kind of stuff. And then we actually just came back for our test when we were ready, and it was super quick once we came back. So that was fabulous, and I was very impressed with the staff at that testing facility. So yeah, I'm sticking my cut file down flat onto the page. So obviously it's a bit bumpy because of the stitching, and because the cut file is quite thin, I normally use washi tape to stick the ends of my stitching down. I couldn't do that on this one because it was too thin. So I did have to tie a few knots, which makes it a little more bumpy, but that's okay. I still stuck it down flat because I wanted my photos to kind of overlap the cut file, and I'm trying not to have too much bulk in my albums at the moment. So I'm only sort of trying to go for one kind of level of bulk, if that makes sense. I'm hoping to only have 2 albums this year, but yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that might be being a bit ambitious. I am still only in 1 album, but I'm only up to scrapbooking May, I think. I'm just into May. So yeah, there's still a lot of the year to go. And I have nearly filled 1 album. So I'm not convinced I'm going to make it into 1, but that's okay. We'll see. At the moment, we've been in a lot of lockdown, so I'm not actually taking that many photos. So we'll see. It might slow down a bit. Right, so I'm just building up my clusters. I ummed and ahed off camera a lot with what I wanted to include in this page, and ultimately I end up going with florals. I was in a bit of a scrapbooking kind of funk, and I just couldn't make anything else work. And I love florals, and so I just went back to what I love, and I've gone with florals. I've added a little wood veneer house as well, just because, I thought that was quite representative of the photos, and we were getting our tests and then going home to isolate until we got our negative test result, which did take a couple of days just because they were so busy. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know how much else I've got to say, really. I hope everybody's well. As I said, I'm recovering from a cold and an ear infection, and conjunctivitis. It's been a great week and a half, I will say. I'm definitely not 100% better, but I'm much better. So I'm not kind of congested or anything anymore, but my throat still tickles a little bit. I'm still coughing a fair bit, and my ear is still blocked. So it's not a nice feeling having a blocked ear, I will say. So I'm probably going to head back to the doctor next week if it hasn't gotten better. Today's my last day of antibiotics, so I'm hoping it unblocks itself soon, because it's very, very off-putting. And when you're working from home and you spend a lot of time in online meetings, having a blocked ear is not fun. Not fun at all. Anyway. Okay, yes, I'm layering up. Sorry, I am also very tired. I'm not sleeping very well because of the coughing, and so I'm losing my train of thought. But I added a few little bits from this. I'm sure it's Indigo and Mist or something like that. Let me find it. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Indigo Mist. Indigo Mist, not Indigo and Mist. And they had some cute gumboots and an umbrella, which I've added in as well, because that's obviously very fitting for the photo. So I popped in a few extra bits that I thought went really well with these images. So the little umbrella, and then the little house down the bottom, and then the gumboots as well. And I also used this gold scripty font from the embellishment pack that says hello, just because I liked the little bit of gold that it sort of kind of brought to the layout. There's a tiny bit of gold in the other clusters as well, which I think works well. So yeah, super happy with how this came together actually. And those Vicky Bouton mixed media backgrounds are amazing. They're amazing. They're great for when you're having a bit of I won't say a lazy day, but you love mixed media, but you're just not wanting to get your paints and things out. They're great. And they're nice and quick, and really, it's nice to have things being quick. Oh, I've got the original layout in front of me, and actually I was wrong. These photos were taken at the start of our lockdown 5.0. So lockdown number 5. We are currently in the middle of lockdown number 6. But lockdown number 5, these were taken on the 27th of May this year. So the start of lockdown number 5. Yes, we're having a lot of lockdowns here, but that's okay. We'll hopefully get our vaccination rates up and get things back on track. So what I actually ended up doing, I'm still sticking, I wanted to add a little bit extra to my title. So my title is Hello COVID Tests. So I'm just adding the COVID tests, Hello COVID Tests now, although I end up moving it. So what I also wanted to say off camera, I was playing around with the raindrops that came in the cut file, and I'm sorry I didn't film this actually, but I didn't. I ended up using my mists and spritzing straight onto the raindrops, and I used Navy Heidi Swapp Colour Shine, of course, because I always do. And I also used my new Nuvo Mica Mist. I've got 3 of them, and I use one that's in Silver Smoke, and I'm pretty sure I also used one that is Midnight Horizon, which is like a navy colour as well, and I bought it as a replacement for my Heidi Swapp Colour Shine because I've got maybe a third of a bottle left of the navy, and it is by far my favourite. I use it on most layouts, so I wanted to pick up that Nuvo Mica Mist as kind of a backup because I think it is quite similar. Haven't played with it enough to have a kind of real verdict, but they seem like that. So I'm covering my photos. I'm going to come in with some mists, and then I remembered that I had my raindrops to add as well. So I do my mists first. So here's my Navy Heidi Swapp Colour Shine, which I'm going to add. And I don't know if I add any others. We'll have a look. I think I do, looking at my picture. Let's see. Oh, no, obviously I do not, because I'm cleaning up my workspace. No. I've moved the coverings off my photos, so I definitely don't add any other mists. But as I said, I do come in with my raindrops. So here's the raindrops now, and you can sort of tell that they're coloured, but I didn't zoom in. So hopefully the close-up photos we'll get a better picture. And they look really nice. They just add a nice little kind of bit of detail to the page. Actually, I'm really happy with them. So I stick the majority of them up on foam. Not all of them, but the majority of them I stick up on foam. And then the very small ones, I stick flat to the page because I was too lazy to cut up my foam dots, in all honesty. So all of the ones that are big enough to have a little foam square behind them, I stick up on foam. The ones that aren't big enough, I stuck down flat just with some wet glue. So that is all I'm doing now, and we will be all finished. So in the description box down below, I will leave a link directly to this cut file, as well as to the general Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop on Etsy, and I will also leave a link to the Facebook group. So in the Facebook group we do heaps of fun stuff, lots of chatting, lots of sharing of layouts and inspiration, but also Virginia releases a free cut file every month, and you can only get that if you are in the Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group. So I will leave that in the description box down below. Now, I mentioned that I hadn't quite finished sticking down all of the raindrops before my son came home, so the video finished, but here are my close-ups. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.